says, yes, he struggled with the Malach and prevailed. He wept and sought favor from him. It is interesting, I find at least, how the Almighty always connects the teachings, even those in English, with those in Spanish, because as you guys know, we study every Shabbat in Spanish. And this coming Shabbat, we are reading Genesis 32, and this chapter has a lot to do with that. So, yeah, it's going to be great. So, verse 4, yes, he struggled with the Malach and prevailed, which is amazing how a man can prevail against a Malach who was made greater than humans. And that is to show the power that comes through Mashiach, because Yahweh through Mashiach will make us greater than the Malachim. So, yes, he struggled with the Malach and prevailed. He wept and sought favor from him. He found him in Bethel. He found him in Bethel. Bethel was the name that Jacob gave to a place called formerly Luz. He called it Bethel because when he went there the first time, he fell asleep and he saw the entrance to the heavens, and how there was a ladder that was being used by the Malachim to come down and going up. And the Malach of Yahweh appeared to him and spoke to him. And then he woke up and he grabbed the stone that he was using as a pillow and anointed it. He poured oil on it to represent that would be the house of Elohim. So he called it Bethel, which means house of Elohim. And that stone which he anointed represents Mashiach, which means anointed one. And Mashiach is the cornerstone. And that's why Mashiach in John told Nathanael that from that moment on they would see the Son of Man and the angels of heaven descending and ascending on top of him. Because from the time that Yahushua came and became the stone, the cornerstone, then the Son of Man, the last, because Yahushua said the coming of the Son of Man will be like the days of Noah. So the Son of Man, even though he's in the third person when he says it, and it connects with him, of course, it's a prophecy of the second coming. So the Son of Man is the second coming, the last. And he will rest on Bethel, meaning where the place where the house of Elohim should be or would be. That's where he's going to rest or die, because he's going to kill where Mashiach was killed, as Revelation 11 says. And when he dies, he will rest on Mashiach because he's the cornerstone. So the last, when he dies, he will die accepting Mashiach as his savior, as his sovereign. So that's what that moment represents when that happened to Jacob. So Jacob, after he got up and he anointed the stone and said the things that he said regarding how we would become the house of Elohim, he went and worked for Laban for 20 years, and he got most of his children, his wives, and then he went back. And when he was going back is when he fought the angel in Bethel, when he was going through that same place. So that shows how the last, when he dies, where the house of Elohim would be, he will resurrect and go up and enter heaven, because that's the entrance to heaven, and then he will fight the angel. That's why there is a connection between those two moments, and that's why it's being mentioned here. He wept and sought favor from him, as when the last is about to die, he will weep and seek the favor of Elohim. He found him in Bethel, and there he spoke to us. And there he spoke to us. Yahweh spoke to Jacob, but since we were all within Jacob, then he spoke to us. He found him in Bethel. Also, the fact that the last will die and resurrect and enter heaven is represented by how he will find him, Yahweh, in Bethel. When the last dies, he will be able to finally find Yahweh, whom he was seeking his whole life.